Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to our second. We had a start to S.I.L Weekly Roundup. We're back with our second episode, so thank you for joining me again here on the Trinity Red Devils YouTube page. Don't forget, hit that like button, and of course, subscribe to the channel. We'll mention, just in brief, we will mention the Trinity Red Devils result. Match highlights, of course, out on Wednesday, 7:30. We're here to discuss the S.I.L. We'll look into the senior. Our guest is a manager. We'll look at his team, we'll look at his division, and see where the league spotlight finishes. This week, this is a new show. We are still developing it, the formula, the pattern. And we would like, or I would like, certainly, videos, clips, anything you've got to do with your football club or a game that you've attended at the weekend, whatever it might be. Dan, who's our guest today, he's brought a little clip along. I'm not quite sure what it is, why it is, but he'll explain it, I'm sure, when he joins us. So if you've got a clip from the game you've been at, or manager of, or playing in, whatever it might be, do let us know. But we're here to discuss S.I.L. 158 goals across the 6 divisions this weekend. So if you're not quite sure about non-league, settle in, get a chair, get comfy, and we'll hopefully guide you around some of the best football that non-league has to have, because Suffolk is the home of all great football clubs, period. And joining me this week, as I mentioned, is Henley Reserve manager Dan Barnard. Daniel, welcome in, my man. How are you?
How you doing, mate? You all right?
I am very well. Looking forward to discussing the local scene. 158 goals on the back of the cigarette packet math I did before we started. It's not a bad return across 6 divisions, is it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's becoming a good. Well, the season's only just started, so and for the amount of goals to come in is great, and everyone's getting used to each team and how they play. But I think a few teams have found out some teams aren't that great, and some teams are quite good. So
this is it. How did you boys do at the weekend then? So tell the people at home how Henley Reserves go on this week.
So we played East Bergholt A. They were top of the league, unbeaten, and we come away with a 3-0 win. So a massive clean sheet again. Good to get some goals on the as well. And Perry, one of our new signings, scored twice. Marty also scored. He's 4-2 now.
Wow.
So he's scoring again. And then obviously, we played really well. I mean, our outstanding player was probably Ash Hart, who a lot of the real Suffolk Sunday League team would know about him. Well, unfortunately not now, but yeah, he played really well. But the whole team played good, but he was outstanding on Saturday.
What about his performance on Saturday? Was outstanding, because it's obviously a 3-0 win against what was top of the table, and we'll look at your division in just a second. But that's comprehensive, so it's a good team win. But what about Ash? Major sort of pick him out. What about his performance?
I mean, he's obviously had a hard time of it, football wise. Great lad. But Saturday you could see that he'd been reborn again and wanted to play football, especially when he doesn't play Sunday football anymore. So I think he's going to put his full effort into Saturday football. And it showed on Saturday. But as I said, all the boys played really well. I mean, our back four, on our goalkeeper pulled off a clean sheet, especially after our defender, and he headed it into the back of the net, and he clawed it from the top corner. So you have to praise the back four. And then you have your skipper on the bench, who's actually captain and sitting on the bench and can't get in at the moment. So which is yeah.
So real strength at Henley Reserves. Before we get into the division, where it's left you in the league table, etc., you sent me a clip. Now, we do want these, as I said at the top of the show, but I also should have mentioned it's a live chat. So if you've got any comments, get them in. If you're watching on catch up, obviously let us know in the comments. And if you want to come on, just ask for the link. Just say link, and the link will appear. And you can come on and have your say on whatever club you support, you follow, you manage, you play on, whatever it is. This is your chance to speak about your local football. Should have said that's up the show. I do apologize. So this clip, Dan, well, I'll play it, and then you can tell me exactly why you sent it to me, because from my perspective, it's not the usual clip I would have expected from the manager of, I believe, of the teams playing. So we'll just see. I expected that to hit the back of the net when you sent it to me, but it didn't. So it's gone over. What's going on here?
Well, I mean, he wanted the ball. He wanted to take the penalty. Obviously, he was on a hat trick as well. And
Was he?
He wanted to take the penalty. He's that confident. But then, literally 3 minutes after taking that penalty, he decided to lob the keeper from nearly 40 yards out and score. So,
audacious.
Yeah. So, but I mean, someone like that caliber who used to play for Brantham, he'll tell all the boys that back in the day he played for Brantham, and he was the big boy of the team, and he can't even score from a penalty spot.
And that is your team, right? I'm just going to clarify
yeah,
that.
Yeah, it's my team.
Yeah. Good. All right. I don't mind banter as long as it's banter within the squad. It's not a problem. So your form right now after 3 is 2 wins and a defeat, right? So it's not a bad start to life. Obviously, you just made the move yourself as a manager, haven't you? Is this your first season where you are?
At Henley, yeah.
Yeah. How's the move gone? How's it gone from your?
Yeah, it's gone quite well. Move from a club for Claydon onto Henley. Obviously, it's massive. Welcomed straight away by everyone through Henley, it's been nice to see. The boys travelled up with me, in much disgust to to Claydon as well, but it happens. It's football. We move on. And the boys deserve to play a ground where they'll enjoy the whole, the pitch, the community centre and stuff. So, which is good to see. A great back, the chairman all the way through to Tony Stone, the social media man. He
in the chat today, he says Paul Motti gets a hat trick and gets dug out for a missed penalty.
Yeah, well, if I say anything bad, he'll be ringing me up. He'll be ringing me up, telling me that I said something bad on there. So I better, not say too much. But,
no.
But I mean, the first game,
you see, so it's that fine line. You walk the cliff edge.
I mean, the first game we class it as a void game. I mean, we had probably about 8-9 players missing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Goalkeeper didn't show up, so we had to put a striker in goal. And we had one sub plus our assistant manager. And I said, you take the positive 2-0 away from the game. They've only scored 2 goals. And a team like Codnam, who are just one team, we'll catch them at our ground. Don't you worry.
Okay. Oh, I like that. Fighting talk already on the second episode of the S.I.L Weekly Roundup. So it leaves you in second place, as you can see here on the screen. Bilderston is the team you're chasing, Dan, at the moment. Obviously, still a very early league table. And up next for you is Thurston, right, in 6th?
Yeah, first in reserves. Yeah, be a test for our boys. Their first team is sitting first as well, so they've got a good club. I think a few of them from the under-18s first and have gone into the reserves. And when I watched the under-18s, they're actually pretty good. So they're going to be quite young and energetic. So we have to make sure our boys are on top.
But if you take the win, obviously I don't know much, if anything, about Thurston, but you've just handed East Bergholt their first L. You could be known as the the team that beats the teams that haven't been beaten before. That's a good opportunity.
It is, but we take one game as we go, and obviously we've got some tough games coming up, so we just take them one as we go.
Absolutely. Now we will come back to Division 5 a little bit further on in the show, see what other results happened, what stood out for Dan. But into the S.I.L Senior, obviously Trimley Red Devils, whose YouTube page we are on. Obviously, as I said at the start of the show, highlights out Wednesday 7:30, a 2-1 win. Their form now reads 3 wins, 2 draws. So, yet to taste defeat. Hopefully, touch wood, that doesn't happen this weekend. Now 4th in the table, Dan. That's, pretty good going. It's not too bad at all, is it?
Well, they haven't lost a game yet, either of those. So, still unbeaten.
2 draws, 3 wins, still unbeaten was all you can ask for at this stage. Here's the league table there. Obviously, what's interesting from this league table, Dan, obviously, is we'll look at the results in a second, but there's Henley, your team at the very top, and then there's that pack of 2, 3, possibly Ransoms could pull themselves in. Only 5 games in, 3 games for Ransom, of course, but it's already starting to be that little sort of mini league table, isn't there?
Yeah, if you can remember last season when the season started, it happened as well, exactly the same thing. And then when we got to like the colder months, then the teams started to slow down, and the pitches then become heavier. And then that's where the teams, obviously their fitness levels then come into show. So I mean, at the moment, you have to look at the 4. Even, I mean, you're looking at even to 8th at the moment. Sporting 87.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a great setup as well. So but it's anyone's game at the moment. So I mean, a loss anywhere from the top could put them down to 5th. So it's just a chance that everyone has to make sure that they win the games.
Yeah, it's a very competitive league. It's only 5 games for some, 6 for Henley, 3 for Ransoms, etc. But even so early, it's such a competitive division with so many great football clubs in our S.I.L Senior division that it literally, as you say, could be an any given Saturday division. I think it was 27 goals in this division alone at the weekend. Great division to be in. Henley sitting at the top must give you a little bit of pride, mustn't it? Seeing Henley sitting pretty, only not tasted defeat yet. 5 wins, 1 draw.
Yeah, it does. But word around the club is they've not got out 2nd gear yet.
Ooh.
So Henley's always figured out results if they feel it's not going well. But I've been told that they've not got out of second gear properly yet. So I'd hate to think when they get into 5th gear. So it's just...
Well, exactly. I mean, obviously, poor Copplestonians that had a 5-0 defeat at the hands of Henley this weekend. So if that's second, that's obviously a notice to the rest of the division. Looking around the other results, what other ones sort of stand out for you there, Dan?
I'd say Westerfield versus Hawley. I mean, Hawley haven't lost a game yet. And Westerfield had such a reshape from this. They obviously Potts left. Westerfield, a few players have left as well. But they're sitting 7th in the league. They've only lost 1 so far. And I mean, to take a draw against Hawley, who haven't lost a game yet.
Yeah, well, it's a very good result. Obviously, Westerfield were opponents to Trimley only a couple of weeks ago. Got the draw that day. Hawley, always a well-run club there. I liked Leiston's result. 3-0 away at Benall. Obviously, both teams at the bottom of the division. Leiston now on 4 points, I think, from memory. Benall still on 0. That's a nice little away win for Leiston. That puts a little bit of breathing room early doors between them and Benall, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a derby day, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. Yeah, I think we've got quite a few of those though, really, haven't we? I mean, Suffolk being quite sort of clumped together a little bit, and Halsworth stuck out for me.
Yeah,
not a bad result there for Halsworth. 3-1 winners away at Wickham Market. Wickham, an established side, the S.I.L Senior division. Halsworth 3-1, 1-1 at half time. So obviously a team that went through the gears a little bit, judging by the result.
Yeah, I mean, Halsworth are always hard to play against. Henley have already played them away. Luckily, they've got that fixture out of the way with quite quickly. I mean, obviously being away, because you don't want to be going there December, January time, and nearly an hour round trip. But I mean, Henley came away with a 2-1 win, so Halsworth are going to be a good contest for anyone in the league at the moment.
Anything else there before you move on?
I mean, Sporting 87 drew with Claydon 2-2.
Yeah.
I mean, they've just come through to Division 1. And they Sporting 87 again, they're a great club. Claydon have got some good players signed on as well, so that must have been a cracking game. I know there's a few bookings and a sending off in that game, but so that must have been a good game to watch from a supporter's point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of great football all up and down the S.I.L from senior to Division 6. And if people are not at a game, or if the team they support's not playing for whatever reason or whatever, go along. It doesn't cost a penny. You get goals, like we said at the top of the show. It's just a great experience. This is your senior division after, albeit very early doors. Obviously, Benall sadly at the bottom. East Bergholt, Bilderston, Leiston, and at the top you've got Henley, Hawley, Halsworth, and Trimley. So early doors, but that's the league table on that one. Back to Division 5. I asked you before we went live, is anything jumping out at you sort of result wise in Division 5? I think you picked out a few fixtures, a few games that sort of stood out for whatever reason. You go to me, why? What results from your own division stood out this week?
I mean, the first in reserves versus AFC Kesgrave A game obviously stood out for me as well. because we played AFC Kesgrave last week. We play Thurston next week, so that was a fixture that stood out because you always have to do your homework when you're playing against teams. And yeah, I mean, as I said, you can't work out these teams at the moment because it's just early doors, and you just don't know who you're going to come against. You don't know who you're playing against. So
what can you learn from that? You say about you've always got to do your homework. What can you learn from that as a manager of Henley Reserves? Having played AFC Kesgrave last week, Thurston next. What are you taking away from that 2-2 result?
Well, I mean, AFC Kesgrave, we played them, but they had a few of the reserve players playing from it last week. So, and every effort was given by Kesgrave to try and do something. I mean, we won all at half time, and as I said, Thurston have picked up a few results from previous, and you start looking into the players, who's scoring goals, who's played the whole 4 or 5 games, and you start then looking around and seeing what's going on and stuff. So yeah, I mean, the boys hate me talking about this player scored 6 goals on a Saturday because they said, well, we have to, they've got to play against us, which is true, so but yeah,
mentality,
I have to do my homework. I have to every week.
Well, is your role as the coach. The Curtin Reserve, Bilderston Reserves, big result there. Let's look at the league table in Division 5. I know Dan wants to see it, a few more times because it's not quite top, which is what you're on no doubt striving for. But it is obviously a nice league position to be in, albeit early doors. 3 games, they're sitting in second, starting in third. Bilderston in obviously top dogs currently in the division, and Thurston in 6th. If you had to pick another team outside of your own that you said that were going to be strong title contenders, obviously you're going to call yourself a title contender, or I'll call you a title contender to say if you're doing it. Who would it be?
I would have thought it'd be Codnam, to be fair.
Codnam, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
what about why Codnam?
Just because obviously the background they've had over previous seasons. I mean, when they folded the season, but before that they were quite a good team, and we thought that come into this league with the players that they have or signed on, that they would be doing quite well, and they have. I mean, they've only lost. They've won 1, lost 1, and drew 1.
Yeah.
I mean, their win was against us, but but they know that obviously that it should have been a harder game for them, which we will do. We'll give them a harder game when we come to our grounds. But it's just anyone's game at the moment. If you lose, you're going to go down further down the line. So if you win, it puts you in a great position. So I'd love to see the team being top at Christmas. That's where our plan want to be. I mean, we've got Walsh and Willows reserves in the cup. They're furlough none reserve in 3 weeks, and they won the league. They won the cup last season, so that's going to be a test for us to see where we actually are as a team. So
nice, I like that. It's going to be top by Christmas. The cup game, you're obviously looking forward to. Good chance to obviously test yourself, as you mentioned there. So you're surprised. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I like those results. Yeah, all right. On to the upcoming games, the ones that are coming up this weekend. So if you're short of a game to go to, these are the ones Dan or I think you should probably pop along to. Dan, what have you got for me? What is your first fixture? Excuse me.
So I picked out because there's a lot of cut games this week. I picked up Grunsborough versus Thurston. Grunsborough being in Division 1, Thurston being in Division 2. They're top of the league. Thurston have had the old Newton managers go over there halfway through last season, and they're taking a few old Newton players over there this season. So that I mean, Grunsborough, they're well known. I went to watch them pre-season game. They look good. They've got some young players in there as well. So that's going to be an absolute battle for that. That's going to be, I wouldn't want to give a result to that, but I'd probably say probably win it on penalties, if I'd be honest.
Oh, an absolute battle. It goes to penalties. There we go. I like it. I mean, we can't ask for more than that without paying an admission fee, really, can you? In the junior cup, that's.
I mean, Grunsborough is a great club to go and watch a game of football. great people, great facilities and stuff. So they've got a good setup. So
always a good game when you watch Grunge. Absolutely. Irving's in the room. Welcome in, Irv. Hope you well. He says, Barney.
I love
Irv. Yeah, resident
He's going to get
S.I.L.
himself. He's going to get himself into trouble at these Ipswich Town games one day.
Well, he does like a good sing song. Does our Irv? That is for sure. You got another game for us. What other games have you picked out from this weekend? Another cup game, right?
Yeah, it was. I think it was. Trying to remember. Was it Kesbury Kestrels?
Laxfield Halesworth.
That's it, Laxfield Halesworth. Laxfield have only lost one. Halesworth, my team, we know about Halesworth Town Reserves. They won the league from us last season. Unfortunately, Halesworth haven't lost a game yet. They're sitting third. So Laxfield, have only lost the one. So I mean, Laxfield have got the home chance, but I mean, Halesworth are a good team on the day. So that'll be a good game.
Another battle. Would you have thought, if you had to give a prediction for that one, where are you heading? Laxfield versus Halesworth.
I'd have to give it to Halesworth because we played against them twice last season. I'll probably go for like a 4-2 win.
Oh, a 4-2 win, 6 goals. I like it. How do you view the cup? Obviously, is it a priority like the league? Is the league the mainstay for you? Where how do you feel about the cup action, etc.?
I mean, if you're not having a good run in the league, it's always a good getaway to get away from and try something in the cup. But if you're doing well in the league, you just want to continue playing games and continue that focus. Then you're playing against a team that's probably 2 leagues above you, and but it's one of them. So it's hard to say. I love cup matches, but league. If you win the league, you win the league. It'll be. I mean, it was shown at the end of the season. We obviously came close last season with the divisional cup final. It's hard. It's a hard one to watch when you get to a cup final and you lose. It's quite hard to watch. But
no one wants to be in that place, Dan. No, everyone wants to be in a cup final because they want to win it, obviously. But nobody wants to be in the cup final once they've lost it because it's that worst. It's sick feeling, right?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, the league gives you 3 points or a point for a draw. The cup gives you, and you lose, you're out. Yeah. But leagues below you that from Division 6, like Somersham Reserves, if they play us, they'll up their game because they know if they beat us that they've put themselves in the limelight because they've beaten us, and it's a hard one to swallow as well. So.
Okay, all right. I'm going to pull out a couple of fixtures from the S.I.L Senior. I'm going to focus on 3 teams: Hawley, Halesworth, Trimley, basically any of those games, because obviously that's that 2nd, 3rd, 4th, that top 6 sort of pylon, if you like. There you've got Hawley. Apologies. You've got Trimley away at Ransom Sports. That's the reserves, Ransom Sports Reserves. I always like watching the reserve games, Dan, because it's always a good chance to see the full squad, the full club, the full complement of everything together, right? And just see how it operates, really.
Yeah, because you always get the opportunity to see the younger lads that come through and the players that want to progress to senior. But then you also get the senior players that have come from an injury, and that the manager doesn't want to sit on the bench and gives them more minutes through the reserves, and then that helps them out as well. But I mean, reserve football is great to watch. It's just like it's just. And you get to, after the game, get to see what the results are for your first team. And if you win, if your first team wins as well, it's a great weekend for you.
Absolutely. And sometimes the reserves don't get enough sort of highlight, I guess, that they do deserve. All things equal. But Henley are at home to Bilderston, which is going to be an interesting affair. A good game awaits there. Trimley at home to Copplestonians. Copplestonians just haven't been beaten 5-0 last week. They're going to be on the rebound. Can Trimley keep hold of that good run that they're on? I certainly hope so, because I certainly enjoy putting together match day packages when they've won. And Hawley versus Ransoms. That's an affair, isn't it? Hawley versus Ransom. That's a really good S.I.L Senior fixture. Do you think?
Yeah, that's going to be a battle. It's going to be a good game. to watch. I think So, but yeah, I mean, all senior football was good.
Absolutely, there's all good teams in there with great players, and as we said at the start of the show, 27 goals in that division alone, 158 throughout the divisions. It's really at the moment early doors a great spectacle to watch. Alex says, welcome in, by the way, Alex. Thanks for joining us. Reserve football can be underrated. He also says yes, Mr. Barnard. But I've thoroughly enjoyed the last 27 minutes. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable pit stop around the divisions. We do want videos and clips though, videos and clips obviously, so we can watch them, rate the goals, debate them, etc. So if you've got any clips from games you're going to this weekend, send them in to Trimley Red Devils' social account, and then I can get them on the show. If you want to appear and talk about your football club, let me know again through Trimley's social accounts. Anyone and everyone is more than welcome to come on and discuss local non-league S.I.L football. In fact, I'd absolutely welcome it because it's great debate, it's great opinions, and would only enhance the flavour of the show. But Dan, we're done for today. I've thoroughly enjoyed sitting down with you.
Big fat memories.
Yeah, man, big back good, mate. But you've laid down the gauntlet for your own side, which from memory was always your thing. You always like to set the standard and say, this is what we're gonna do, and we need to go out and achieve it. I like that about it. You're very can-do attitude, right?
Yeah, you have to be. With the players that we have. But as I said, there's so many good players in the different teams of the league we're in. So we can't think that our team's the best team in the league, because we'll see come the end of the season. So
we'll see come the end of the season. Famous last words. Don't forget, match day highlight video from Trimley's 2-1 win is live on the channel 7:30 Wednesday, and we're back again next week 7:15 for more S.I.L roundup. He's Mr. Dan Barnard. You all know him as Barney or Mr. Barnard or however you know him. Thanks for watching. Join us again next time, and until